welcome to How to Deal When the Shit Gets Real podcast. I'm Marietta.
And I'm Connie, and we are two crazy cousins that are on social media today. Or at least we're talking about social media today.
Because let's be real, we're on social media every day.
Unfortunately.
Well, let's preface that with there are good things to social media, because there are. But we're going to talk about...
Sorry.
Memes. That's true. But we are going to talk about some of the ones that we don't want you to get dragged into.
And just in general. And what we do on our social medias versus what other people might be doing.
So go check out our Instagram.
Basically. Honestly, Instagram is the only one I care about. Photos, they're not too political. It's just a photo. I like it better than, Twitter and Facebook.
I still don't really understand Twitter. So if somebody out there wants to explain it to me, I'm all down. I get that it's social media, but it just seems very strange to me.
Tom just likes to do it. Use Twitter. He likes to do it, man. Sorry. When Tom uses Twitter, it's mainly not to incite fights, but he added the Romeoville police department saying, is there anything you guys can do about a semi-truck just ran down our neighborhood streets and that's not supposed to be legal? Is there anything you guys can do? I've heard a lot of people using that. And actually, at my little side job that I have, they even mention how they like to have a Twitter account because it can show them if something went wrong so that they can fix it.
Okay, all right. Well, there you go. See? I don't know. I'm still figuring it out. It's interesting to me. But we're going to talk about all sorts of little fun tidbits about social media for you, so...
I don't know. Just social media in general. What pisses us off. Last week we found out that Rietta has a real issue with dick pics.
Come on. I know I am not the only one. I'm pretty sure almost every one of my girlfriends that I've talked to feels the same way. So, yeah.
I needed to make it known when we're talking about anger, because it angers me. Anywho.
It angers me. Obviously I haven't had to deal with that in a long time. I've been married 9 years, so I'm not getting random dick pics. At least I hope not. But not that I remember. So I don't have to worry about that anymore. So thank God for being married. But for all the ladies out there that are still dating, I pray for you.
we pray for all of them all the time. And it honestly gets you to, getting unwanted dick pics. I guess it's kind of similar to trolling and bullying on social media, because although a guy may find a dick pic funny, it can be it can get to the point of sexual harassment, bullying, trolling, all that kind of shit.
Yep, and kind of we're literally just talking about this as somebody like me who's trying to get my name out there more, who's publishing a book, or I did publish a book. It's not publishing anymore. I see a lot of trolling on author pages, like people that literally just go on there and leave 1-star reviews on just random books just to piss people off or just to ruin their career. And it kind of bothered me at first, and then I sat back and thought, why do I care? This person only has an effect on me if I let them have an effect on you. So that's why we wanted to talk about it, because we don't want you guys to feel like I'm being bullied. That person can only really bully you if you let them.
For sure. And honestly, let's face it, how is it even possible that you have a 1-star review? It hasn't been out that long. And it was before you even had an author page on Goodreads or whatever website it was.
That's what confused me about it. And then my girlfriend was like, well, it's connected to Amazon, but the review is not on Amazon, so it didn't copy over. But whatever. They can do whatever they want. If they want to put a 1-star review and it makes them feel good about themselves, good for them.
Hey, we had the same thing with the podcast.
We did. Somebody left. I don't think it was a 1-star. I think they did give us a 2-star, trying to be half butt about it. But it's funny. These people will leave 1 or 2-star reviews, but then they don't write anything. They're literally just 1 star. And it's you can write something.
Yeah. If you really, truly believed it was something that was 1 or 2 stars, you should definitely at least have an opinion about why. Because I definitely can understand if somebody didn't want to listen to our podcast previously when I didn't have a good mic.
Yeah,
I can understand it because it actually, I didn't even necessarily want to listen because I was like, I fucking hate my mic.
Or even if they just don't like it. Not everybody's going to like it, and that's fine. And you can even be like, I don't know, Brianna's laugh is annoying. Okay, cool. Then you don't like it. That's fine. When I first started my blog, I literally had a person that left me like a 6-paragraph nasty comment. The amount of time this person put into effort to leave this 6-paragraph detailed review of why my blog was so bad made me laugh at that point, because I was like, if you have that much time to criticize somebody that you don't even know, all right then
you need to get a life is what it is. And that's pretty much what I believe all trolling is, okay, it's time for you to wake up and get a life, because who cares in the end?
Right, and if you don't like me, then don't read it. Simple as that. You don't have to like me. I get not everybody's going to like me. Not everybody's going to like me and Connie and our podcast. If you don't, cool. That's on you. But you don't have to be an ass about it.
Well, it's that whole thing where they say, because you're on social media and you're doing this over on a laptop, you're not doing this face to face, thus why your humanity, not your humanity, but your social politeness kind of just goes away. And
no,
that's and to me that's stupid. Mm-hmm. You should treat people, whether it's online or in person, how you want to be treated.
Absolutely.
And if I find you trolling and I see you in real life, I'm going to be a real dick to you in real life as well as online.
That was actually one thing that it was kind of sad. My girlfriend said to me, well, you put yourself out on social media, so you put yourself out there for scrutiny. And I'm like, that's an ass backwards way to think of it. I can put myself out there, and I know not everybody's going to like me, but that doesn't mean that I should be okay with people being mean to me. If they don't like me, that's fine, but they don't have to be mean to me. And to say that it's my fault because I put it out there on the internet is a stupid way to think about it. Like, that's not my fault. I can put myself out there. What did your friend
say when you told her this? What did your friend say?
I told her that. I'm like, that's not how this works.
And what was her rebuttal?
She was like, no, that's how it is. Like, you risk it when you put yourself out there. I'm like, I kind of get what you're saying. Like, yes, I put myself out there, and there are going to be people that don't like me, which is fine. But that doesn't give them an excuse to bully me and treat me like shit. They cannot like me and say, like, you're not my cup of tea, and be cordial about it. But they don't have to be like, you're a fucking bitch. Like, that's not necessary. That is not okay.
Yeah, and especially considering, A, you would never have the guts to do it in person, first of all. And B, it's fucking rude. And if you're not a rude person in your normal day life, you shouldn't be rude to other people on social media, whether they can see you or not. And on top of that, you're not asking for people to be mean. And that's just being rude. On top of it, it's just, what did I want to say?
Well, it's just like in real life. If you meet somebody and you don't like them, you don't have to be friends with them. You just don't ever interact with them again. And it's the same thing on social media. If you see a profile that you don't like, just don't follow it. And that's the end of it.
Yeah, really. Because how much is it really bugging you? And if you think about it, in your limited space as a human being, you're only going to have X amount of friends. Not everybody's going to be your friend. It's just not how that works. But now I remember what I was going to say is that in reality, just because you post something on Instagram or Facebook does not mean you know that person. That is a very small sliver of your person and your personality. Ooh, so what? You're taking a cool photo of you hiking or whatever. Like, that doesn't matter. Like, it's more for you, your friends, your family. And you are trying to get out there and talk and meet new people, but that doesn't mean you're like, and I'd also would like a side of bullying with that.
Like we said, we're not saying that people can't disagree with you, can't not like you. They absolutely can. They just don't need to go to that extreme where they're bullying you or being not nice to you. It's just not necessary.
Actually, you know what is even funny? One time Tom pissed off this group of people I can't remember if it was when I was actually on Facebook, because I'm not anymore. And they contacted me and they're like, I hope you're real proud of your husband. He made a sexist comment. And I actually read the comment and it was hilarious. Like, he was clearly joking.
Yeah.
But they took it super seriously. And that's another thing that's kind of hard to get over text messaging or on social media is a joke. Mm-hmm. Because if you're very sensitive about it, it's not going to be a joke.
Right.
But if another person like Tom is just joking and thinking it's funny to him because he's not super personally affected by it. It's just two different things, man.
No, that's another good example. And it's hard you can't read tone. You know, when you type things in the computer, the tone is not there. It's just written word. I mean, if you have imagination, you could probably, just like when you read a book, you can get a little bit of tone and sass from it. But there are going to be people that take it the wrong way. And
it is what it is.
It is what it is, yeah. And that actually kind of goes perfectly into another topic we were going to talk about, or another part of this, is don't waste your time arguing with somebody that you know is not going to change your opinion. Like, I see a lot of people on my Facebook especially, which is probably one of the reasons Connie's not on Facebook, where there's 400 comments of people just going back and forth. You're stupid for thinking that way. No, you're stupid. And how many hours or whatever did they waste having this pointless conversation? Like, don't bother.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a little I'm not on Facebook anymore because of that, and too political.
Yeah.
I'm not. I was normally going on Facebook to see what my friends and family are up to. Mm-hmm. Maybe get some invites to family parties, whatever. Not really going on Facebook to see your political views. Don't give a fuck. I don't want to be influenced by Facebook.
Yeah.
And their political views as well. On top of that.
Right.
And also, yeah, I did actually have, and I thought it was like really stupid, but it was great at the same time. When I first started dating Tom, somebody commented on my first profile picture with Tom and was like, "You don't love him. You love me." He was a friend of the family's. And all of my friends jumped in and they were like, "You don't even know her. Go shut the fuck up. This is none of your business." And it was them basically arguing about who I'm in love with. I was like, this is insane. Only I know who I am in love with. And at that time, we just started dating. It was maybe 3 months into our relationship.
Yeah, see, and that's not worth it. And obviously I'm not saying that you can't have a candid debate with somebody that you're friends with and that you trust and that you can have an intelligent conversation with. I'm just telling you not to waste the time with the people that are never going to change their mind and all they're going to do is bash you and argue with you.
You're going to end up spending way more time on social media than you wanted to in the beginning.
Yeah, anyway. It's never going to end and you're going to walk away feeling like shit. So, not worth it.
Nope.
And like Connie's example is a little more of a funny example. They're arguing over who's going to love her. And like, obviously her friends are having her back against this person who's being an idiot. But that person's never going to stop being an idiot. So they're still wasting their time.
Yeah. And so I blocked them. And then they were upset because they are technically a family friend to my brothers. I blocked him. And then he was upset that I never invited him to the wedding. I was like, why would I invite you? You are not. And I told him flat, I'm like, you are not my friend. You are my brother's friend.
And you're an instigator, so no thank you.
Yes. Yeah. It was fun, though. It was hilarious. I remember, like, a few years ago looking at that photo and laughing.
Hey, if they want to waste their time and their life, good for them. But I'm not doing it.
And that brings us up to social media can take too much time, because if you're doing all those arguments, you're spending more time on social media than you are in the real world. And guess what? It is a sunny, beautiful day outside. You should go out and, enjoy it. And, get off the fucking phone. I actually tell my niece that because I believe she is 14 and she needs to get off the fucking phone. Yeah. family time or whatever. Get off the phone. It'll be okay. You won't miss anything. And that's another aspect of social media is the fear of missing out.
It is.
And it can go both ways. You're on social media because you fear that you're going to miss a post, and it works the other way that you're on social media and you have the fear of actually like missing an actual event. It kind of goes both ways.
It does go both ways, and even for somebody like me who's trying to promote my book and trying to make something of myself, I remember when I was first doing my book, in order to hire an agent, which an agent is the person that is the contact between you and the publisher, they want you to have a huge following and a big blog. They want to see that you've already done a lot of work, and that's intimidating. So then I'm spending all this time on Instagram trying to get 10,000 followers, and it's stressing me out. And finally I was like, forget this. I can be successful. I'm going to do it my own way. Like, obviously social media can be helpful because it's a quick, lightning way to get stuff out there. But to say that you would be unsuccessful without it is not accurate. Word of mouth still matters. People are going to talk about it. It's going to get around.
And you're on the never-ending website that people are always on, Amazon.
Yep.
First of all. And second of all, if that would be true, then you would have no authors. Think about it. Social media is pretty new in relative terms of what? Maybe 10, 15 years old? I don't know the exact year, obviously. And we've had authors around for a very, very long time.
Right.
Very, very long time. I mean, before the American Revolution, there were authors. So
yeah, there's absolutely.
It was difficult, but it's neither here nor there. I'm not giving you a history lesson. But before social media, there were plenty of authors making it big. So go F off is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the end all and be all is what we're doing.
No, for sure.
Word of mouth is still going to be one of the most powerful things. Connie reads my book, then she tells her best friend, and her best friend tells her best friend. That might not seem like a lot, but if it gets around, that's bigger than you think it is. It's more powerful than you think it is.
Especially because I've seen a lot of your friends posting about it, so that really is good.
Oh, my heart was very full that first week. Everybody tagging me, like, it was great. And it may never be a bestseller, but you know what? That's okay. It's out there. I put it out there. My fear didn't stop me. Social media didn't fucking stop me. I did it anyway. And that's really what we're getting at. Social media is not the end all be all. Period.
Mm-hmm. Don't let the amount of followers and that kind of thing get you down. And actually, okay, I absolutely hated the movie, but this movie just came out called Infamous. And it's basically a girl who her and her boyfriend end up sticking up like a lot of like stores and like pot stores and taking cash. And she posted all of the crimes on social media, which of course is her downfall. And it bugged the shit out of me. All of a sudden, they had a bag full of guns. What the fuck? Where'd you get all these guns? It was like, what? Okay. And like the boyfriend is super against it. It doesn't go very well. There was just a lot of aspects I was not a fan of, but it's this very similar thing where she wanted to be Instagram and Facebook famous. Mm-hmm. But she was living in a small town in Florida and wasn't able to really grasp it like a lot of other people. And it even shows like in the beginning a lot of her like scrolling and why can't she get more likes. And she realizes she gets into a fight with a chick over a guy. Like she gets like 2,000 more followers. So it kind of leads her down a semi-criminal path. And
it sounds interesting.
It was I hated it. I don't know if I hated it because it just didn't. I think the concept is interesting. I just hate the idea of somebody being, I want to be Instagram famous, so I'm going to go rob a bunch of places and, put it on Instagram. Like, I think that is a horrible concept.
Well, I mean, look at the girl that got Instagram famous when COVID first came out because she licked an airplane toilet. I mean, that's what you have to do to become Instagram famous is lick a fucking toilet seat? That's
Gross.
disgusting. The girl from Dr. Phil, the Cash Me Outside girl that everybody talked about, that girl has millions of followers because she doesn't have proper English. Seriously? You look at somebody like Kyle Carpenter, who's one of the only living recipients to receive the Medal of Honor, doesn't have anywhere near 1 million followers. That's somebody that you should look up to that has 1 million followers, not somebody
not these people who are just trying to get followers by doing stupid shit.
Yes, exactly. And actually, Instagram has been talking about getting rid of likes to stop the competition. They're talking about getting rid of likes so people aren't like, that person has 300 likes for doing that. I'm going to do it too. Or like, why don't I have 300 likes? They're talking about just nixing it to try to stop this constant Instagram competition that's going on.
Well, but I mean, that's the same thing with Facebook, though, and Twitter. Because Twitter does the retweets and everything else, so what the fuck's the difference? They all have it. It's all clearly a competition. Come on.
I do like, though, that Instagram is trying to combat it or, like, thinking
Instagram
of ways.
By Facebook.
I know. Just recently.
Not that, I mean, within the last year. Yeah. But
I mean,
still.
At least they're trying, or at least appearing to try to mellow it out a little bit.
Well, then my next question is, then what the fuck's up with Facebook? Because Facebook owns Instagram, and Instagram is trying to improve, and I really don't feel like Facebook is.
I don't see as much competition on Facebook. I see more of the arguing and the trolling and the bullies on Facebook. So yeah, they could do a lot more about that. But I mean, I guess they don't want to be the police. They don't want to intervene in between people and make it look like they're picking a side, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's supposed to be an open forum.
Which brings us to our next, I guess, little topic part of it, is your emotions towards social media and not letting yourself getting sucked into this basically unreality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you see something on Facebook and you don't realize it, but it can pull your emotions or even your mind, like what you think. It can change what you think, what you feel, and it's just a post, and it's not necessary, and it could be targeted at you. It's not necessarily the truth. You don't really know what it is or what it isn't, because somebody could have posted anything that could tug at your emotions or influence how you think, and it could just be for some bullshit site that's actually false. But you don't know. You wouldn't know unless you actually clicked on the link and did more research.
And like we've talked about in previous podcasts, you are just getting the highlight reel. You have no idea what's going on in that background. This person may be posting a beautiful beach photo or a beautiful couple photo, but maybe 5 minutes before that they were arguing. Like, you don't know. And nobody's life is perfect. My life, Connie's life, anybody's life, we have our moments, and you are not seeing all of those moments on social media.
Oh, for sure. And in reality, like I said before about people like trolling, and in general, when you see things on social media, that is like 10% of their actual life.
Right.
Don't view it as this is 100% how their life is. It is bubbles and rainbows and sunshine, because that's not true. Everybody has bad days. I believe there's a song about it. You know, everybody has those days.
Absolutely. I mean, I'll be the first to admit I absolutely have bad days, especially now when Kyle's deployed. Even something stupid. Was it yesterday or the day before? I don't remember when it was. But the sensor came on my car to let me know that the air pressure is low on my tires. Now, is this something I can handle? Absolutely. It's really easy. But usually, that's like a husband job. The car care is the husband job. So I was like,
oh, yeah.
I just wish Kyle was here because I don't know where the thing is and I want him to do it. And I just had a little moment where I just wish he was there because I wanted him to handle it. Not because I couldn't, just because that's what he does. that's what he normally does for me. So then it made me miss him, and I had a little moment, and then I'm like, okay, put your big girl panties on, get the air pressure gauge, go to the gas station. There's free air, and fill the fucking tires up.
Yeah, it's not that big of a deal. You can do it yourself. But I know, and that's so funny because that's exactly what Tom's doing for me right now. Is dealing with my car. So I get you.
Yeah, it's just nice. It's not that I can't do it. It's missing that extra help. Missing the help, like he cuts the grass, he takes care of the cars, and now I have to do everything, which is fine. But, I just had a little moment where I was like, why isn't he here? I want him to do this,
Oh, hell yeah. I definitely understand. Oh my God, I don't think Tom would be able to handle being gone from our house just because he is very particular about how the grass gets cut, and I would definitely not be very particular.
I got that vibe from his Instagram post the other day with the like double whatever
lines. Yep. Oh yeah, no, he's super into it, especially since we got a fertilizer company that spreads like fertilizer and weed killer. Ever since we got them, now he's like super into it.
I mean, that's nice though. It's nice that he cares about the lawn, and that's great. And that's it's just, one of those things, one less thing that you have to worry about, and he will make it look real nice.
But again, like Rita was saying, bringing it back, you wouldn't know these things that we just talked about by viewing our Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or whatever. You would just see some hiking photos and photos of the beach, and stuff like that. Honestly, we would all be like, we wish we were Rietta on the beach 24/7, because that's basically her Instagram is beach and hiking. So I'm like, do you do any cleaning or anything else? Because I don't see it. But we all know she does.
Yeah, exactly. See, my Instagram definitely makes it look like, and I do. I feel very blessed to live in Hawaii, 100%. I know a lot of people who don't feel the same living here, a lot of our fellow military wives, but I feel very blessed to live here. But I definitely do regular things too. I go to the grocery store. I clean my house every Monday.
It's honestly a shock. I don't know how I would be able to do anything regular. But I am not in that position, so I will never know.
You never know. You might know someday. You won't know what it would be like maybe to live here, but to at least go on vacation, I hope.
Yeah. Vacation is always fun, yes. Actually, one of the reasons why I don't post a ton on Instagram, because I take a lot of photos, yes. I put a lot on my story, the 24-hour story that's on Instagram. I just don't want to just be like another basic bitch post. You know what I mean? So I kind of limit it to things that I think are really meaningful, or I really had fun, or really did something. Because trust me, if it was everyday life that I was taking a photo of, people would be like, this bitch can stop posting right now.
So, that's just kind of our main point of this whole thing. Just don't let somebody's beautiful Instagram setup think that your life isn't just as beautiful, because it is, just in a different way.
Actually, that reminds me. So there was, I think it was a TV show, and I want to say it was Lucifer, but I don't remember 100%. Sorry. Anyway, this person went to go, I think it was Lucifer. He went to go and interview this woman, and she was an Instagram influencer, and she was like, here, hold on, take a picture of me. And she kept on changing the background scene and taking pictures as if she were at these popular destinations, and really it was actually just a roll down screen, and she's never been anywhere but California. And it's and that's kind of how I view Instagram, though, is you could say that you maybe once upon a time went to these places, but you could just be posting photos that you've had that you just never posted. Not necessarily the most. During COVID, when somebody was like, you shouldn't be out hiking, you're like, I wasn't. It was a picture from when I went hiking before COVID. You know, you can have photos in your album and post them at a different date. That doesn't mean they're constantly traveling and they don't have a real job or real responsibilities.
Yeah, you don't know when that picture was taken, and just because they posted it today doesn't mean it happened today. And I also hate that there's this perception that your entire Instagram has to look like perfect. You have to have this perfect filter, and it has to be this color, and it has to be appealing. Just post your shit, people. It doesn't need to be perfect. Again, I'm blessed because I have a beautiful backdrop. I literally don't put like any filters on my pictures, but that's just Hawaii. When we move to Virginia, it's going to be a totally different thing, and that's fine. But that doesn't mean I'm going to stop sharing stuff, because it's my life and I'm going to share stuff, and maybe it won't look as pretty, but who cares?
But and then once again, that's social media, that's showing you that you don't necessarily have the perfect background 24/7, you know? Everything's not 100% beautiful all the time. And if you think that, you're full of it, and you need a reality check. And also, you know, don't focus so much on how many likes you have, how many followers, how many friends. It doesn't matter. Live you. You do you, boo, and you'll be better. Life will be better. You'll be less concerned.
That should just be, since we keep saying it, that should just be like one of our sayings. Do you, boo boo.
You do you, boo.
We're reclaiming that.
Oh, for sure.
That line from 2000.
I don't care. I will never get rid of that because I love it. It's fine. I'll just be old over here saying, you do you, boo. A boo boo.
There you go. And you're goofy. The big thing that I think Connie and I really wanted to get across, because there is a lot of cyberbullying that's happening nowadays. You know, it wasn't like that when her and I were younger. The iPhone didn't even come out until I graduated from college. So all of this wasn't as big of a thing when we were younger. So it's definitely more prevalent, and definitely something you need to watch, especially if you have kids. Like, I just got my son a Nintendo Switch for his birthday, and
Ooh,
I'm definitely not really allowing him on any online communities unless I'm around, because it happens everywhere. Even on his online gaming system with kids his age, people are bullying and making people feel bad about themselves. And I know it's hard when somebody, you know, says you're ugly or whatever to you, and it's hard not to take that personally. But you have to remember, you don't know that person. That person doesn't actually know you.
And they could be uglier. They could be uglier.
They could be uglier.
They could be jealous AF.
They could be. So just delete their comment, block them, and move on.
That's what today's podcast is really about, is move on.
Yeah, don't,
scroll through and move on with your life and actually live life, and not live a life completely on social media.
And even in schools too, Jackson's already, my little guy has already dealt with bullying in first grade, and I told him, I'm like, don't ever let anybody make you feel any less of a person than you are. Don't be friends with that person. Walk away from that person. If you have to, get an adult involved if they're really being over the top with you. Like, do not be afraid to stand up for yourself. And I hope all the parents out there are teaching their kids that, because, I mean, suicide rates are bad enough in the military population in general and in life in general, and we need to take grasp and try to get that under control.
Yeah, and social media just doesn't help.
Yeah, it adds the fuel to the fire, because people can sit behind their keyboard where they're perfectly safe with no repercussions, really, and type all this nasty shit out to people that they don't know.
Yep.
And it's ridiculous. So just don't pay attention to those people. Block them, delete them. Don't accept sugar daddy requests either, because they're just going to take your money. So
that's funny. A guy messaged my friend saying, hey, I'll give you $700 a week of, money to basically be, on call for him. And she laughed. She thought it was hilarious. And I was like, ew. Yeah. It was an old fat bald dude. I was like, ew.
Of course it was. Ew. Yeah. Don't get catfished.
Yeah, right? I don't think that was really catfishing, considering he was very open about what he looks like.
No, that's true. That guy wasn't.
Yeah, it happens. Anyway, recap for the day, right? Is that where we're at, you think?
Yeah, I think we've yelled at them enough.
So don't be susceptible to the highlight reel and the bullying on social media. You know, scroll, like photos, whatever, and then get out and actually live your life. Remember that you don't really know that person on Instagram unless it's like a friend. If it's just a random influencer, you don't really know them. That is only 9% of their lives, 10% of their lives, whatever. So, just move on and actually live life. Don't live your life on a screen because that's no fun.
You're not going to have the memories. When you look back and you're 90, all you're going to remember is your phone.
And that is gross.
All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. I'm Rietta.
I'm Connie.
And thank you for listening.